Summit Paggy, Keto here.
And Mio here to tell you that today we have glitchy releases,
Self-sabotage,
abominable updates,
no players,
and the game. In this video discussing Project Playtime, Mob Entertainment's first multiplayer game.
and how what started as a massive success ended up being the company's greatest failure.
But how did a game that launched with over 20,000 players become a completely dead game in under a year?
Why is the Poppy Playtime fandom so desperate to revive it?
And with Mob's new multiplayer game on the way, we must ask the question, was Project Playtime's demise intentional?
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the dramatic rise and tragic demise of Project Playtime.
What in the flippity jibbers is this? You don't know what Project Playtime is?
Well, to fully explain everything, we're gonna have to go back in time. In 2022, Mob Entertainment, creators of the Poppy Playtime franchise, were at an all-time high. The second chapter of their game series proved that the future of Poppy Playtime was bright, and the fans were already ravenous for Chapter 3. And somehow, Chapter 3 would be even bigger than Chapter 2.
But there was a problem!
Huh?
Development for Chapter 3, Deep Sleep, would take a bit longer than expected. It would come out about a year and a half after Chapter 2. One reason for this might be them deciding to switch from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. Quite the upgrade.
Regardless of why it would take so long to make, Mob knew they needed something to keep Poppy Playtime in the hearts and minds of the people. And since NFTs didn't exactly work out last time, they had a brilliant idea. While the fans wait for one game to come out, let's make a whole new game in the meantime.
While this seems like a large undertaking, a little side-scroller game or some sort of RPG would be relatively easy to make, and I'm sure they could sprinkle in some lore to keep the fans happy. But Mob had much bigger plans.
On October 31st, 2022, almost 6 months after Chapter 2 came out, Mob finally revealed both the name of the next game and its release date in a teaser image.
Dear golly goodness, Project Playtime would be arriving in December 2022.
That's less than 2 months away!
And what's this? An FTP server code?
That's right! Not only will we be getting a new game even sooner than expected, but this was the beginning of the Project Playtime ARG. And for those who don't know what an ARG is, it's basically an online Easter egg hunt.
Fun fact, at first, fans thought the server code was a real-life IP address, and they found the address belonged to a location near a New Jersey graveyard.
This led to some of the fans thinking they might have to travel to New Jersey to go dig up some graves. Or something else unhinged.
This is not the first time, nor the last time, a fandom thought to do something crazy like this, but Mob quickly stepped in to stop the madness. Don't dig up graves, that's illegal.
As for the ARG itself, we shall briefly break down the lore here. It's very involved, so you're just gonna get the basics.
The ARG revealed that a low-level Playtime Co. employee named Rowan Stahl noticed that the giant Huggy Wuggy statue's eyes were moving and tracking people. Rowan promptly alerted Leith Pierre, a high-level employee at Playtime Co. and all-around bad guy, that he thought that there were nanny cams hidden in the statue.
He was eventually convinced that this was just bad maintenance on the eyes. No problems to see here. However, Rowan was not really convinced and started collecting evidence of Playtime Co. experimenting on people and turning them into giant toys. Oh my gosh, it's a Bigger Bodies project!
He started storing all this evidence on the server, and in real life, fans were accessing that supposed server. You see, the alternate reality game aspect.
After realizing how deep the conspiracy went, Rowan began to fear for his life, and for good reason.
The Bigger Bodies experiment Boxy Boo was sent after Rowan, who decided to walk close to a mysterious box in some random room for some reason, and Rowan was swiftly devoured.
Yep, he's gone. The ARG featured more information about the Bigger Bodies initiative, multiple Playtime Co-employees, Twitter accounts, a ton of codes, and hidden sequences. They even sent real-life letters to content creators.
According to Micah Preciado, one of the founding members of Mob Entertainment, this little ARG took over 3 months to create. 3 months to make an ARG, to tease a side project, which is a game to keep you occupied while they work on the main project.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Once the ARG reached its conclusion on November 24th, 2022, Mob unleashed the cinematic trailer for
Project Playtime!
Ooh, the trailer is in fact quite cinematic.
It shows some extraction specialists extracting things. It's their speciality. But after a small Huggy hollers and it carries on before getting stomped, big boy Huggy arrives and chaos ensues.
Huggy murks 2 extractors.
Bam!
Mommy snipes another.
Hi-ya!
And the last one gets picked off by none other than the newest main monster, Boxy Boo!
So, at the end of the trailer, we get the official...
Slow down a little bit.
At the end of the trailer, we get a set date for release. December 6th, 2022. Less than 2 weeks away.
And shortly thereafter, they put out a gameplay trailer. Oh my goodness, we are eating good tonight. We'll talk about the gameplay in depth later, but for now, it seems that Project Playtime will be a Dead by Daylight-esque game, where 6 players would try to solve a puzzle to unlock toy parts to escape. Meanwhile, the 7th player would be the monster and try to take down the other players.
Oh my goodness, this was so exciting, and the fans quivered with anticipation until the big day finally arrived.
December 6th. Fans were waiting somewhat patiently on Discord because they knew that Project Playtime would drop any second now. And they waited. And they kept waiting. Hey, it's actually getting pretty late. You think maybe...
Hey everyone. We have seen everybody eagerly awaiting Project Playtime's release today. We're so sorry. We've been working non-stop and have done everything in our power to release today, but we're out of time. Server backend issues. Project Playtime will release ASAP. Our programming team has been doing everything they can to get the game into your hands immediately. There will be no physical copies. We love and thank you for your patience. We will keep you all as updated as we possibly can.
Well, that sucks. But after a few days, on the 10th of December, they set a new release date for the 12th. And unlike last time, the game actually came out!
And the fans swarmed the servers with over 21,000 players on launch day! Whoa, that's a lot of sprawl everywhere!
There were so many players, in fact, that Mob had to scale up the servers and disable purchases because there's too much money being spent.
And why were people pouring into the game? Because it looked fun, that's why!
You see, the ideal game of Project Playtime would go something like this.
You jump into the game and will be randomly chosen to either be a specialist or a monster. If you're a specialist, then you team up with 5 other players. You've got to go solve 6 things called puzzle pillars. We have no idea why these pillars exist and how they fit into the lore, but each pillar contains 3 puzzles to solve. 3 puzzles are memory-based, 2 are reaction time-based, and 1 of them is randomly a ball maze.
After you complete a pillar, you get a toy part. After all 6 toy parts are collected and deposited, you pull this thing down, run to the train, and end your mission. That's pretty easy, right? Wrong! There's a monster on the loose! Watch out, it's Boxy Boo!
One of the 7 players in the lobby will be chosen to be a monster, and is given the choice to be Huggy Wuggy, Mommy Longlegs, or the newest character on the block, Boxy Boo! The monster's job is to make the lives of the other players miserable. They can absolutely wreck the specialists, mess them up, and drop them into a pit. But not just any pit, they get put into the Woologs, where many Huggy Wuggies have to be fended off by the specialists until someone rescues them.
If the monster puts you in the pit 3 times, you die instantly, and you're dead for good. End of the round. For you. If you do die, you can still spectate and watch your friends get absolutely slaughtered.
And you can team up with said friends using a private lobby, where just you and your select friends could hop into a game without having to join some randos. A simple feature that improves the gameplay by quite a lot.
But wait, there's more! Monsters have built-in special abilities like grab, or Mommy Longleg can go web people or string around, and Boxy Boo can go drag you in. But there's also perks that both specialists and monsters have, and these can be purchased in the in-game store. And some of them can be the difference between winning and losing. So you best level up.
And if you're worried the monster will catch you no matter what, there are these handy-dandy handles that you can use to swing around, briefly close doors, and pull yourself forward to get a speed boost.
All this combined made for some exciting gameplay. And if you're confused, don't you worry. There is a tutorial to get you warmed up. That is, of course, if it works.
Oh, really? Wow. Well, that's unfortunate.
Because while there were plenty of people playing the game on launch, there were also a crap ton of bugs.
How's the floor, idiot?
It's comfortable.
Try to,
Yeah, I have.
Or what am I meant to do? What?
That's, I have a thingy. Somebody joined that's not supposed to. Okay, I definitely don't have Matt Anime 32 as a friend. These are not my friends. I don't know how they're getting in.
What is it set to right now?
Where are you? I think you were invisible on my screen. You still are invisible.
Wait, you're invisible on my screen. Wait, I don't have you in my hand.
Yeah, but I'm getting carried by nothing.
I
happening? What is happening?
Complete the monster tutorial. What a convenient place! Wow, I almost fell through the map. You couldn't pick up the toy? Toys in the gulag? That's okay, there's 7 pillars. Oh yeah, I see it! It's way up there! That wasn't it! No, we're actually soft-locked! We're actually doomed!
Along with the bugs, many complained that the game was a bit unbalanced, though it would flip-flop between the monsters being overpowered to the specialists being way too overpowered.
Despite people having a good amount of fun due to the extraordinary number of bugs and the fact that people couldn't even play the game because of said bugs, the player base took a bit of a hit. Numbers dropped from 21,000 to around 7,000 the next month.
A drop in players is obviously going to happen since launch day is usually the biggest day for a game, but this drop was a little bit bigger than usual. Once again, the bugs. But Project Playtime also didn't really have too many interesting updates coming out to keep the people invested.
For the first few months, there were some holiday events that added some new cosmetics and a couple of new puzzles and bug fixes, but the player numbers were still piddling out. Now, if you're not used to these type of multiplayer games, you might think that a couple of months without any kind of update is perfectly normal and perfectly fine. Well, it is quite normal for these types of games to have updates every month, sometimes multiple times a month. This is especially common in games that have a rather repetitive gameplay loop, like Project Playtime.
But thankfully, they did not leave people waiting for long, because in May 2023, they unveiled Project Playtime Phase 2, Incineration! This update would include even more cosmetics and bug fixes, but would also include a new map. OMG, so epic. And they also did their best to balance the game. Not sure if it helped at all, but at least there was an attempt. And they also made a new improved tutorial, and this time it will probably work.
And over on the Mob Entertainment YouTube channel, there was a live stream where the game developers played with the chat, did some questions and answers, and gave away some hoodies. Big wholesome chungus.
Overall, people quite enjoyed this phase, and it managed to breathe some more life into the game for a bit. But while there was a large surge in players, they started to piddle out again around July.
Huh? What's this? No new cosmetics for the 4th of July!
Don't be greedy! They were busy working on adding anti-cheat that should have been there from the beginning, but you know what? 7 months late isn't that bad.
And while, to their credit, they were still patching out bugs, there would be absolutely no meaningful updates until Phase 3, Forsaken.
Meanwhile, over on Chapter 3, things were looking a bit tight, with release date only months away in December 2023. The winter deadline was flying at them faster than Santa and his reindeer, and something had to give if they're going to make the deadline. The December deadline. It's definitely coming out in December, guys.
It was all well and good that Project Playtime was drawing in players and entertaining thousands. But every time they marketed this multiplayer experience on Twitter, it seemed like someone, or many someones, would just spam questions about whether Chapter 3 would come out anytime soon. They were freaking obsessed. They had the release date, and this little multiplayer game that was meant to satisfy the fan base was perhaps not doing its job.
I want more.
According to the YouTuber Sheep Rampage's video, Mob Entertainment was expending too much of their resources for their side game Project Playtime. So, to fix this, they shifted people from Project Playtime back over to work on Chapter 3. This of course meant that less people could work on Project Playtime, and this decision would have profound effects on the multiplayer game's upcoming phase, Forsaken.
After 4 months of frick all news, which for a multiplayer game is basically eternity, on October 12th, Mob finally did a thing. They announced the end of Phase 2 was coming, and with it, the beginning of Phase 3, Forsaken.
On the 17th, we got a release date, October 25th. Fans were hyped because this phase might tie into the upcoming Chapter 3, but when the 25th came, there seemed to be some problems. Oh dear.
First off, squints eyes, adjusts glasses, peers closely at the computer screen. You can see that the quality of the cinematics had dropped significantly.
Compassion is the discarded gem of the Forsaken. A relic of innocence left behind like a misfit toy.
There's a voiceover from who we now know as Ollie, where he spouts off a very nice poem. Along with this, we get some views of the new map.
Past that, things go downhill real fast.
Canned animations.
Some new cosmetics.
That's it. move along.
Several months ago, the cinematic for the St. Patrick's Day update had a far better trailer than this. And that update was just for cosmetics, nothing else. It wasn't a new phase. But still, it was so much more hype.
The plan was to release the new phase around early evening, but at 7:18 EDT, fans got this update on Steam, meaning a lot of them probably didn't even see it.
Hey everyone. We wanted to give you all a quick update. Initially, the Phase 3 update for Project Playtime was set to launch today at 5 p.m. CT. However, due to unforeseen circumstances, we had to wait just a bit longer. We're still in the background working on pushing this live, and we'll keep you updated for when it's fully launched.
Pretty understandable. Multiplayer games take a lot of work and some time to figure things out. Maybe they should have scheduled it for a different day, but whatever. And wait longer, the fans did. As time went by though, doubts began to kind of emerge about this update coming out at all. And with the benefit of hindsight, maybe things would have been better if it didn't.
Approximately 2 minutes before midnight, the Forspoken update dropped. And it was terrible!
But wait, too much negativity. We can't be mean. Let's first mention the things that people liked first.
Well, they added the ability for specialists to make announcements like, I'm over here, the monster's hugging my wuggies, or let's group up at Boxy Boo's Sussy Dungeon.
The new UI is less ugly, with health and your current location on the map, making it easier to read and more informative.
When specialists get hit by the monsters, they now get a tiny speed boost to make chases a bit longer and more intense.
Allegedly, rather than being randomly selected, you can now choose to be a monster or a specialist. This has its own issues, but we'll get to that later.
And finally, they added the ability to vote on what map you want to go to, rather than being plopped into whatever random map the game chooses for you.
Come on, Playtime Factory, let's go!
No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, stop! Oh!
As for the bad things in this update, it's not so much what they added that was bad, it was everything good they just yoinked away! You're having too much fun? Stop it!
Before this update, you could type in a text chat, but not anymore. Your freedom of speech has been revoked.
Enjoyed hanging out in the lobby before the game? Sorry, you're stuck in the main menu, doing absolutely nothing.
Trying to get away from the monster and need a speed boost? Too bad, it's been decided that you don't need them anymore.
You've been caught because you couldn't get away? Well, the monster shall now deposit you into a pit. But don't worry, we got rid of those bothersome little huggies completely.
You can now do nothing but sit here and wait to be rescued. You're welcome. But I doubt you'll get bored because you can bang on the lid to let everyone know that you're dying.
And you'll lose a heart every minute, so let's hope your friends get there in time. Oh, you died? Well, you probably weren't invested in the rest of the game anyway, so you can no longer spectate.
But that's fine, you could just join up in the lobby with your friends afterwards, right? I'm joking, we know you don't have friends. We got rid of that entirely. Best I can do is a random lobby. Take it or leave it. Seriously though, why did anyone think that this was a good idea?
And wait, there's less! If you invested in leveling up, there's no daily missions. Yes, they had daily missions before, and now they've been snapped out of existence. And no battle pass. Before, I guess you could get special cosmetics and stuff, but now all you get is tickets.
Oh, and if you've never played Project Playtime before and you want to give it a try, good flipping luck learning how to play because they removed the entire tutorial. That's right, new players are going in completely blind. And that's not to mention all the new bugs the update came along with.
It's almost like Thanos was in charge of this update, but even he would only take away half of the features.
The fans, as I'm sure you can imagine, were less than pleased. Some critiques might have been a bit nitpicky, like the fact that you can... Some critiques might have been... Some critiques...
Sorry, I thought we were taking a break. I need to drink some water.
Well, I guess I'll drink some water too! The fans, as you can imagine, were less than pleased. Some critiques might have been a bit nitpicky, like the fact that the removal of the Huggy Pit made no sense for lore reasons. The monsters are supposed to be feeding you to the smaller creatures. In this case, they're just putting you in a very shallow hole. Because you can still hit the lid. That implies it's not very deep.
Yes, so nitpicky. However, most didn't like it because it was horrible and took away so many things they originally loved about the gameplay. And several videos complaining about the Project Playtime Phase 3 were made.
I am having a very bad day. Today is one of the worst days that I've had in a long time.
We decided to try the game for ourselves in a scuffed live stream. First, we reverted Project Playtime back to Phase 2 to play the tutorials. And since no one was online in that version, we went back to Phase 3.
Which crashed our computer and made the live stream even more scuffed. Ignore that! Aikido was playing the entire time. Don't get confused.
For the reaction memes, I, Mio, will be on the left.
And I, Keto, will be in the right.
Cares at this point.
PX's game. This game is still in development. Well, what'd you miss? Absolutely freaking nothing. The entire computer shut down. I had to go boot it up again. Lag. Lagging. There we go. Ooh. Here we be. Here we are. We out here. They're not like us. No clue what I'm doing.
What are you doing?
I'll try.
Yep. This is up to a great start. Hey, can someone get us out of here? There we go. Nice.
Why'd I choose the worst one?
Boxy Boo's up there! Detach!
I'm stuck! I'm stuck at...
Oh no!
I got one puzzle. To figure Boxy. Do you guys have... Do you talk about anything... Do you ever think about anything other than food? I'm curious. You better find a place to put me in, Boxy, or I'm getting out of here! 12 more seconds. We can only pray that he's stupid and he doesn't find a box.
No!
Come on!
Wait, so do we have to deal with the Huggies or are we good?
No, I think they completely took that out.
Maybe he should just run, actually.
Yeah, just get out of here.
Where's
the other guy? Well, this sure is cool.
I love this game.
Now this is the really cool game.
I wish we'd been able to play it for more than 2 seconds.
Am I just dead? I'm just dead.
I know a lot of people are trying to bring it back and... You know,
oh, 5 people?
God bless them, but so far I'm not impressed. Huh? Why is somebody like facing the wrong direction? What's going on?
Oh, that's lagging.
We are lagging. Oh.
I'm scared. I'm scared. Hello? If I don't look behind me, he won't be there. Whose side are you on, buddy? Get out of my way! Ah!
Oh, what? What?
What?
Maybe you can't swing with a toy part? But where'd it go?
Maybe he has it? So.
Hey there. Whoa! I will lend my hand. I go to all the other ones, I guess. What?
Monster left, I think. Oh my word, that's so dumb! So if the monster leaves, then the entire round just ends?
Guys, run! Guys, run! Oh my gosh. Run!
Frickin' game. That we're not gonna win, by the way.
There's only 3 people left.
Ah! Yo, remember when we said that it's a problem that people can choose to be the monster? Well, that's because everybody wants to be the monster.
And if all the players want to be a monster, then there's just a bunch of empty lobbies because there's a lack of specialists.
This wouldn't be a problem if the game wasn't so freaking dead!
And with 10 people on at a time, it becomes a rather difficult task to fill a lobby.
6 out of 6 plus 1? It's time to go. Huggy mode. There you be. They got a toy pot already. Oh. Come back, you little sticker.
Toy pot. Who is he detecting? Oh, he was over there.
Oh, what? There has to be a way I can move faster.
Oh, there's somebody up there. It's just like in the horror movies, the black guy dies first.
Wow.
Yo, did you just roll?
I can't jump over this. You're still... Get back in the hole, you idiot! Come back here! Ah, now I'm the fool! Now I have an egg on my face! I'm so done with this game.
Alright, check OBS if you would. Unless, of course, you're in the middle.
I'm a little busy.
Okay. I've turned it off.
I'm busy playing a game.
Massive air quotes.
I put that in
Dang, those air quotes are huge.
And I am tired of shaking. How you suck so bad at this game? You've gotten one toy part.
Well, there's only like 2 people now, so.
Oh, okay, that's fair. Get out of there!
Thank goodness. Hi!
Yay!
It takes some getting used to.
It really was not that fun, and we switched over to Tila Land shortly thereafter. But here are a few clips from some games that we played offline.
She's not after me anymore.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. I just
Thought she was following me. Got me sick.
Frick you, mommy long legs. I hate you. Frick you. Okay.
What? Is he dead? Oh my gosh.
Of course he dies, so I can be put in the hole. This game sucks. I'm leaving.
Yes, Project Playtime, yes. I don't know how many clips we showed. Probably not many. But basically, we saw firsthand both the fun and the many problems, especially the ones introduced in Phase 3.
Now, ordinarily, you'd think the devs would try to fix things up, or maybe try to return the things they took away, so people will want to play their game again. But all the fans got was one hotfix. This would end up being the last update Project Playtime would get for almost 3 years.
The player base before Phase 3 was already at an all-time low due to no major updates, dipping below the 1,000 marker. Ooh. But after the brief uptick in players for the Forsaken update, the players somehow went even lower, all the way down to 835.
Mob Entertainment evidently did not have time to be too concerned with this travesty, because they were somehow still trying to get Chapter 3 finished. Yes, it was still not finished and they were panicking, and now they'll start to deal with a mass exodus of employees.
Bruh.
We cannot keep on meeting like this. Well, since you're here, you might as well like the video and subscribe. We're trying to hit 100K soon, hopefully. It's free and you'll be notified as soon as we release a video. So yeah, get back to the video. Don't worry about me. I'll catch up later.
In December 2023, just before Chapter 3 was supposed to release, the company Mob Entertainment took a hit.
Some of the founding members, Andy Gill, Cubicle, and the Persada brothers, Examination, left Mob Entertainment due to disagreements with the more corporate direction Mob was taking.
The departure of some of the key staff certainly did nothing to improve the studio's chances of meeting the deadline for the next mainline chapter, which was already dubious after spending too much time on Project Playtime.
On December 11th, 2023, two of the bigwigs at Mob Entertainment, Zach and Seth Bellinger, made an apology saying that Poppy Playtime Chapter 3, Deep Sleep, will be delayed from December 2023 to sometime in January 2024.
There were no announcements about Project Playtime around this time, but that's not too surprising at all, and fans were very understanding. But surely we'll hear something about Phase 4, or maybe adding some new Chapter 3 characters at a future date.
That would make sense. I mean, Chapter 3 comes out, you update Project Playtime to kind of tie those two things together. Yes, solid plan. I can't wait for them to not do that.
January 30th, 2024. Chapter 3 releases, just barely in January, by the way. Sheesh! After all the waiting and continuous hype surrounding the game, was Deep Sleep worth the long wait?
Apparently, yes! Most players loved it. The characters and atmosphere was instantly iconic. Many considered this installment the scariest, and the artists instantly started drawing lewd shipping out of Catnap and Dog Day. That's a bit of a problem.
The vast majority of Project Playtime fans would list this chapter as one of their favorites in the series so far. We ourselves have so far not played the game, so I will say nothing on the matter.
From then on, Bob committed to releasing each new Poppy Playtime chapter 1 year from the last one, or as close as they could get. This has kept the studio constantly crunching to get each new This has kept the studio constantly crunching to get each new chapter done on time.
1 year after Chapter 3, Chapter 4 came out.
Disaster!
And then Chapter 5 came out and was a massive success, despite some mildly mixed opinions, one of which is my own, which was negative.
Along with the mainline chapter book, Mob worked on more ARGs and marketing, and the obligatory merch drops. In other words, they're working on just about everything but Project Playtime.
Despite the Forsaken update being an absolute tragedy, player numbers would consistently spike up after each release of Chapters 3, and then 4, and most recently 5.
fans would get a big old bite of a Poppy Playtime chapter, and afterwards they would sometimes get the taste for a nibble of some Poppy Playtime goodness.
Perhaps some dessert, something a bit casual, maybe a multiplayer game such as, maybe a bit of Project Playtime.
However, due to the trash state of the game and the lack of any updates, play numbers will continue to fall down pretty quickly. Also, we did not mention this earlier, but they never made a mobile version of Project Playtime. Despite the fact that the main games have mobile versions. Seems like you're just leaving money on the table, but what do I know?
So for a while, no new Project Playtime news. Almost 3 years. All hope was lost, especially after the game's director, Donna Willoughby, left the company. But then, news that was shocking, in a good way.
Following the success of Poppy Playtime Chapter 5, Zach Berlinger started chattering in the Poppy Playtime Discord. He gave his thoughts on the newest game, some vague posts about the movie, some stuff that I'm not personally invested in, and what's this? Project Playtime? Why?
We would love to revive Project Playtime, guys. We haven't forgotten about it, and we know you guys want us to talk about our plans.
Yes, it was once again a vague statement, but it confirmed that Mob Entertainment was still aware of Project Playtime and its fan base, and might actually do something with the game in the near future. And the fans were happy.
This is the bit of hopium that Project Playtime players needed, and so began the quest to revive Project Playtime.
This whole campaign was more or less led by the YouTuber Schmix, who would stream the game and make clips out of said streams to hopefully get the player numbers up.
Some clips would get hundreds of thousands of views, and people started atting Mob Entertainment and spamming hashtag Revive Project Playtime.
And this actually worked! Ooh. The active players reached numbers that the game hadn't seen in months, maybe even years! Even though they hadn't hit their initial goal of peak players, surely Mob Entertainment couldn't ignore this movement forever. After all, they had Astral Spiff. How could they lose? He's a big streamer with big numbers, and he played all of 2 games? Maybe 2 games.
But nothing happened. There was no news, not even an acknowledgement of Project Playtime's revival. That is until July 27th, 2026, when Mob finally said what we all secretly knew. It was so over. The message on Steam and Discord reads as follows.
Project Playtime has always held a special place in the Poppy Playtime universe. It gave players a new way to experience Playtime Co., brought fans together in some wonderfully chaotic ways, and as a young studio taught us a great deal about how the world could be expanded beyond the main game chapters, inspiring us to explore new possibilities. With that said, and after much thought and countless conversation with our development team, we made the difficult decision to end operations for Project Playtime.
What? No, alright. I know that sounds bad.
The TLDR for the rest of the message is basically, RIP Project Playtime, we know we have a lot of players who enjoyed it, and even though this era is coming to a close, something else will be coming out very soon. And they didn't say this, but RIP those who spent money in the game.
It's not goodbye, it's see you soon. With gratitude, the Mob Entertainment team.
What an abrupt and unceremonious death. People in the Poppy Discord were shaking and crying and calling their loved ones, and even if no one was really that surprised, nobody was particularly pleased with this end result.
Why the heck did they choose now of all times to end it all? Was all this talk of not forgetting the game just an elaborate ploy to crush the hearts of the fans when the time came? Well, there may or may not be some theories. Some game theories!
While researching for this video and looking through the patch notes for the Forsaken update, we were very confused by the decisions made, and so were the players at the time. Why move so many things from the game, including the tutorial? It's almost like they wanted players to not play the game.
Hell, this is just a rando crackpot theory, but it's certainly possible that Mob knew that they were way in over their heads pretty early on. They wanted to make a new game for the fans, but accidentally moved too many resources from Chapter 3. And then after the game became more successful than they expected,
remember, they had to upscale the servers.
They may not have known how much maintenance Project Playtime would take, with all the server maintenance, bug fixes, and cosmetic updates.
And perhaps because Project Playtime was a free game, it wasn't as profitable from in-game purchases as they would have hoped. Also, not sure if we mentioned this before, but the game was very, very heavily monetized, which is one complaint that players had. That is until Phase 3, where they kind of removed that too.
Anyways, with the deadline for Chapter 3 hurtling towards them, maybe they finally decided that Project Playtime was no longer maintainable with the current size of the team. In the Q&A, the team talked about a lot of cool ideas they had for the game, including user-generated maps and adding more characters. But maybe it just wouldn't be worth the effort.
But instead of taking Project Playtime around back and shutting down the servers, they tried to boost the game one more time by making the final update. And maybe, just maybe, they made the update bad on purpose, so people would drop the game and never want to talk about it again.
It's a flimsy theory, especially the last part, but it's only a theory.
A game theory!
It's over.
Project Playtime players were understandably disappointed, especially since creators like Nized and Schmix, the leader of the whole thing, put in so much work to revive the game.
Mob Entertainment did not allow the promise of a new game to hang in the air for long, though. On August 8th, 2026, which happens to be the same day as Five Nights at Freddy's anniversary, and the same day the Hour of Joy happened, if you care about that kind of thing, Mob Entertainment started leaving cryptic teasers featuring the cart character from Chapter 2.
Barry, what are you doing here?
And screenshots featured on a new Steam page, and hold on a second, multiplayer?
If the name of the Steam page is an indicator, it won't be long until Mob officially reveals this new multiplayer game in its entirety. Seems that they're keeping things under wraps and keeping it all hush-hush and very secret. Sure would be a shame if it got leaked on Twitter ahead of time, or the very same day that the announcement was made in the first place. But that would never happen. It certainly has never happened before.
For many, though, this game, no matter how good, can't replace the hole in their hearts left by Project Playtime. They are the few, the proud, and the emotional. Project Playtime carries memories of a time when the franchise was just at the beginning stages, and the games were less controversial. It was simple. Good times, right?
Even now, hundreds log into the game, and some have even developed mods to make the game good. But with the end swiftly coming, it just might be over.
But these fans will not go quietly into the night. They have a savior in the form of the gaming and creation software that is not at all controversial, Roblox.
There are multiple clones of Project Playtime made in Roblox, with varying levels of quality, with the most popular being Project Playbreak. Playbreak adds many old missed features back into the game, as well as their own additions, and since these games are hosted on Roblox, they will continue to exist even after the end of the official game.
Maybe. You'll see, Mob Entertainment does allow for the fan usage of Mob-owned IPs and materials, including 3D models. Look at that! Their policy is rather flexible with what it allows fans to make. But one of the prohibitions is, generally, the fan-made content cannot be used to make money, which is a bit of a problem, because Roblox creators like making money.
Playbreak allows you to use tickets you earn during games to buy perks and cosmetics, just like the official game. But if you don't want to grind away on the factory floor, you could use these special coins. How do you get these special coins? With Robux. How do you get Robux? Real money! In short, this game is in fact monetized.
Another much older Project Playtime clone, formerly known as Project Playtime Multiplayer, very creative name, did something similar back when Project Playtime was actually pretty hot. Mob was not impressed with a Roblox team monetizing their IP, so they took the game down.
It now exists under the name Project Monster, and no longer has any Poppy Playtime stuff in it. It also has no players.
All that to say, enjoy the real game and the fan games while you still can.
In the end, Project Playtime's story is a cautionary tale. Ambition is a great thing when tempered by wisdom, and the only way to gain wisdom is through experience and failure.
Mob bit off a bit more than they could chew for a little side project, then ended up neglecting it for years while pursuing more profitable projects. Considering what the game director said was in the works, and how one of the CEOs would occasionally mention Project Playtime returning, they may have wanted to come back and finish the game.
Unfortunately, Project Playtime was left in a state that was half-baked and barely functional. While it's possible they may have left it that way on purpose to dissuade new and returning players, that is mere speculation.
But despite any attempt to kill any interest in the game, it formed a passionate, small fan base that kept returning.
The fan base was better than the game deserved, keeping the player base from falling to absolute zero. They even made mods and launched a campaign to revive their beloved game. They truly deserved better.
And now, once again, Mob is returning to the multiplayer genre, armed with the knowledge gained by their past mistakes. Hopefully this time it will work out, and we'll be there to give it an honest shot. So don't be sad it's gone, be happy it's over. Or however that phrase goes.
And for most of you who have never played the game, and or forget about it entirely, and or have never heard about it nor cared about it to begin with, well, now you know!
Thanks for watching our little documentary about the game. There are already some pretty good videos about the game out there, but we want to add some extra details and new information on the topic, as well as our own unique style, such as it is.
Thank you to Astral Spiff for generously allowing us to use some of his clips in our video to show off Phase 1, as we were not playing Poppy Playtime games at that time.
And a big thank you to our channel members. They help fund these videos every single month. And don't you worry, we'll be getting regular videos and members-only videos out a lot more often.
Thank you very much, channel members. You are near and dear to our hearts. And you too, viewer, can become near and dear to our hearts by liking this video and subscribing for free. Although maybe not quite as near and as dear as the channel members, but still near and dear.
We actually ended up playing Project Playtime offline for a quick video over on BioKeto Gaming, so check that one out over here.
Or if you'd like some more spicy video game drama, you can check out this video over here. And until then, in the wise words of Project Playtime, Boxy Boo! We'll see.
This man is failing puzzles on purpose! Oh, he's gonna get me killed! I see how it is! He's throwing for content!